Welcome to San Joaquin Spotlight, a public affairs program featuring conversations about life in the central San Joaquin Valley. This program is brought to you in partnership between KFSR 90.7 FM and CMAC Fresno. I'm your host, Sevag Tateosian. The crew of San Joaquin Spotlight is out and about this evening. We are at Certus CrossFit. We're learning about CrossFit. Now, CrossFit is taking over a bunch of different cities around the nation, and so here we are at a CrossFit location in Fresno, a box as they call it, to learn about CrossFit and what this movement is. We'll be back with Michelle after this. We're here with Michelle. Michelle is the co-owner of Certus CrossFit, a CrossFit location in Fresno, California. Welcome. Actually, we're in Clovis.
Clovis.
Fresno County.
Yes, Fresno County. I'm doing great, thank you.
So what's going on over here? I mean, here we are at this location, and you know, the other day I was reading that CrossFit locations are popping up all over the nation. So this is kind of a movement. Can you give us some background about this movement?
Well, it's actually worldwide. So worldwide, I believe that we're almost to 15,000 CrossFit affiliates all over the world, with about a little bit over 10,000 of those being in the United States. And it is rapidly growing. They are popping up all over the place. And I think in part because of the community aspect and the fact that the fitness program actually works. You get results, and you're not alone. You're in there with a class, you're working with other people, and also that it's very individualized. So you can take whatever workout and you can make it suitable to all fitness levels within a group setting, and people continue to get results from that.
What's the difference between CrossFit and a gym? Because, you know, I'm no expert in gyms, by the way, but I'm here, I'm looking around, and it kind of looks like a gym.
Yes.
So what is the difference between what CrossFit is and what a typical gym is?
That's a great question, because there is a kind of on a spectrum. So if you have, say, a big gym in town, we have GB3, and then you have CrossFit. And at GB3, you can get personal training. So for the lowest investment at GB3, you're paying your regular monthly membership. And then if you want to get a little bit more individual attention, you pay for personal training. And that can be anywhere from $200 a month to maybe $500 or $600 a month, depending on the trainer that you select. And so it can be quite costly. Where CrossFit kind of is a bridge between that going it alone for $30 a month and spending $500 a month on a personal trainer. So for a little bit over $125 a month, individuals can come in and they can be coached. The programming is already decided when you walk in the door, and you come in and there's going to be a coach that is going to facilitate that workout for the hour. They're going to tell you what you need to do. They're going to demonstrate the movements. They're going to get you warmed up and ready to do that workout. And they're there the whole time facilitating that workout. So you're not just kind of on your own to interpret movements and how hard you should work and when you should rest and when you should work all on your own. So it's a more affordable way to kind of get to your goals without having to make a really big financial investment each month.
You have an interesting background. I was reading online that you were a paramedic and you did stuff in the paramedic field, and then all of a sudden you open a gym. I mean, talk a little bit about your background and how you came about to do this, because being a paramedic and opening your own gym, two different things.
Totally different things. Well, that was a little bit over 20 years ago, so I had some life experience in there. I actually moved to Fresno as a medic. I had no family or friends here, and I came here to work for one of the ambulance companies here in town. Ended up meeting who would be my husband, having a child, and then life kind of happened, and I decided I wanted to go back to school and become a nurse, because that was the next logical progression. You know, if you're a paramedic and you want to go back to work, that's what you do, you become a nurse. And literally days before I was supposed to start the bachelor's program over at Fresno State, I had my spot, I had my grades, I had everything in line, and I decided I didn't want to work with sick people. I wanted to work on preventing injury and illness and disease. I wanted to work with a well population, or maybe trying to help people get healthier, but not through medication and hospitals and doctors. And so I went and talked to one of the kinesiology professors and told him my background, told him what classes I had taken for my nursing program and would they transfer over. And lucky for me, almost everything did. And so I went on I graduated from Fresno State this past June. I got my bachelor's in exercise science. And then the gym kind of was rolling in all of those plans. So here I am. I do get to work with some sick population. I have some members with really specific issues, but for the most part, I'm trying to help people get more fit, more healthy, and prevent disease.
So you've been open now for about 10 months, almost a year. And did you imagine, how are you doing? Two questions. How are you doing? And did you imagine the place you are right now?
I'm tired, but I'm ecstatic. I didn't really know exactly what to expect. When we opened up those doors the first day, you don't know who's going to come in or how many are going to come. And there we were, we opened on December 19th, and on the Monday following, we opened up the door at 5 a.m. and we had probably 18 people in class. And that was our first 5 a.m. class. So we're like, okay, here we go. And it just kind of steadily grew from there. We have not slowed down. We just continue to grow. And it has completely exceeded my expectations.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Talk about the community aspect, because I hear the word community. I was watching something the other night, and there was a gentleman talking about CrossFit, and he used the word community multiple times, and you used it just now as well. So tell us a little bit about what that exactly means.
I think community is all about, it's a group of people, and usually in a community there are some common goals, some common values, things that we all share. And we kind of joke and say in our workouts or in our metabolic conditioning that it's very tough, and we'll say it's kind of shared suffering. So, again, if you're at like a regular gym and you're doing your workout, your chances are you're doing it by yourself and there's nobody to kind of cheer you on and say, hey, those are the best bicep curls I've ever seen in my life. Whereas here, when you're doing that workout in that group setting, there's other people that are going through the same thing. There's other people that are struggling. There's other people that are feeling tired. There's other people that are setting personal bests on different lifts. And together, you're celebrating it and getting through it together. The other thing is we're like to be very active in our community, not just within our walls here, but I'm very active in training Clovis Police Department for various things. I have other friends and contacts in other local and federal law enforcement agencies who are active in that community. We're doing our Barbells for Boobs on Saturday, which is kind of a tradition in CrossFit gyms every October all around the world. And so it's celebrating community. It's bringing people together. It's promoting shared values. It's shared suffering.
Now, online, I was reading a bunch of great stuff about CrossFit, but there were a few comments about that it's not healthy or some negative comments.
Absolutely.
What is your response to some of the negative comments?
Yes. People will say, I can't do CrossFit, or you shouldn't do CrossFit because it hurts people. And when they tell me that, I say, yes, you're right, CrossFit does hurt people. So does sitting at home and dying a slow sedentary death on the couch. That kills people. Any fitness program that you do has a risk of injury with it. And I say to CrossFit, the critics, I say, there's two things that will hurt you in CrossFit. That's reckless coaching and ego. So I ask people when they have that fear, that concern, say, I promise not to be reckless if you promise to leave your ego at the door. And if we go into it with that understanding and that trusting relationship, and we're scaling and modifying as needed for someone's current fitness level, there's no reason why it can't be a very safe and effective fitness program. And in fact, I think that's part of its popularity, because it very much is obviously more safe and effective than it is injurious because of the success.
Talk a little bit about the training. Is it hard training? Because when I think of CrossFit, I think of, heavy lifting and, squats with heavy lifting and all that stuff. Is it more harder than your traditional, treadmill?
Well, it depends on how hard you're working on the treadmill, because I could go put myself through a treadmill workout right now that would slay me because I don't spend a lot of time on it. But it's all very personal. It's very individualized. So I have a woman that has not worked out in many, many years. She does have some weight to lose. She has some mobility issues or movement issues because of weight, and also because she hasn't been moving her joints through full range of motion. And the other day they were doing front squats, which is it's more, intermediate type movement. And I didn't like what I was seeing. So I brought her over in the middle of the workout. Everybody's, doing their front squats. And I set her up on a way that's going to help her get into a better squat. It's also going to help her get up out of chairs more easily, up out of bed more easily. And we can slowly progress to that front squat. Not everybody who walks in the door is at the same level. So we walk around and we look at how people are moving, or we look and see what they're doing to make sure that whatever they're doing suits their goals. I say to all the coaches that I brought in, I say to the members, it's your fitness. It's not my fitness. It's not Joe's fitness. It's not my son's fitness. It's your fitness. Where are you at on your journey? Let's meet you there. Let's find out what your goals are, and let's properly progress you towards what your goals are, rather than meet my expectations. So.
Thank you very much, Michelle. We're actually going to show some footage now of the event, the event that Certus CrossFit is involved in. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
We'll be back after this. We are back with Coach Joe, who is a coach here at Certus CrossFit. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your role. I mean, I saw you earlier when the people were working out, and you were kind of watching them. You were kind of just monitoring. And as you and I were talking, I noticed that you kept watching and monitoring. What is your role?
So my goal, especially when I'm coaching classes, is to make sure that everyone is, one, doing everything safe, making sure that they're using the proper technique. Two, making sure that everyone is working in the right progressions, meaning they're not going to go too heavy on one of the movements or try, some crazy variation of a movement where, they might hurt themselves or they just don't have that skill level yet. And then three, just to make sure everyone's kind of feeling motivated, making sure that they're, following kind of what we got for them, the prescription for the day, and making sure that they're really kind of hitting that with a good sort of intensity there, and they feel motivated and they're getting a good workout out of it. So.
CrossFit seems like you're working hard and different muscles than a traditional treadmill. For someone who's ambitious that comes in here and wants to right away lift the heaviest thing you've got, what advice would you give them? And as coach, what would you be telling them?
Yeah, so we'd start them off and bring them in here, kind of lay down the expectations of them, and then we'd ask the expectations they have of us, just kind of make sure we're on the same page. And then especially with kind of the heavy hitters are the ones that really want to get after it and do the heavy weights and all the crazy sort of skill gymnastic stuff. We just let them know that there's sort of you got to master the basics first, and there's a progression towards everything. There's no point of trying to go straight for it and doing something wrong, because one, you're just gonna have a really hard time building up to that higher level if we're not doing it correct or movements correct, as well as once we master the basics, that allows a stronger and a bigger foundation for us to get better at those movements and lift those heavy weights and do the fun movements and get better at CrossFit, I guess, in general. So.
How important is the warm-up to the workout? I know we were talking earlier, and one of the things you said is one of the first things you do is have them do warm-ups. Mm-hmm. So I've had a long day at work. I want to come in here and lift the heaviest thing you've got. You'd stop me and do a warm-up? Why?
Yeah. So we start off with a warm-up. That's how we start the whole day. The warm-up is going to be movements and warming up movement patterns that you're going to see in the workout and the strength part for the day. It also allows me as a coach to see who might need a little extra help on those movements. If there's flexibility issues, maybe issues with technique, it allows me to kind of monitor and get myself prepared for the next hour and see kind of where my time is going to be spent coaching, as well as, again, just making sure that those movement patterns are warmed up. So if you have been sitting around all day at work or whatever, we're making sure that everything's ready to roll. All the joints are feeling lubricated, we're good to go, and we're feeling warm, and so that we can get the best out of our workout that day without getting injured and having proper technique with that too. So,
holidays are around the corner. Thanksgiving is around the corner.
Yeah.
A lot of food is going to be on the table. Is it okay to eat all that food, and then what do you do next?
Yeah, so that's a good question. It is okay to eat all that kind of food. You got to enjoy your time. You got to enjoy your time with your family. The biggest thing is just don't overdo it. Don't go crazy on everything and just eat it in crazy amounts. I know for me with Thanksgiving, I'm going to have a little bit of everything because I enjoy my mom's cooking. So I'm going to go eat her pumpkin pie. I'm going to eat all the food she makes. But I'm not going to just go crazy and eat the whole pie and all that. So, but the cool thing about it too is the holidays is a fun time we get to spend with our families. Enjoy that. Don't feel guilty about it. You should enjoy that time. And then just realize that your diet might not be perfect, but you still have the opportunity to continue to keep working out, stay on your path, stick towards your goal, even though you get to have sort of that fun time where you get to kind of relax a little bit and not be so, disciplined, if you will. So
We are all busy.
Mm-hmm.
We all have families. We all have jobs. It's tough to fit in workout in our schedules.
Mm-hmm.
It's doable, but it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Advice for someone who only has about 30 minutes of time a day to work out, what would you be telling them?
The biggest thing is the internet is a great tool. Hop on the internet. You can just type in 30-minute workout on the internet and you're going to find something. You're going to find something that's going to help you out big time. The biggest thing is making sure you stay consistent with it. Consistency is the key to getting in better shape. You can be like, all right, I got 30 minutes and I'm only going to work out one time this week. It's not going to be enough. 30 minutes a day, though, for 5 days out of the week or 6 days, however many days you want to go for, over time that adds up, right? So that consistency is where you're going to find the results. But you're going to be able to find, it could honestly just be run for 30 minutes. Do something with push-ups and sit-ups and whatever you want to do, run up a hill. You can find something. As long as you're moving for those 30 minutes, if that's all you have, awesome. Just do something, right? And it's a kind of a snowball effect is once you start to get into it, you find new ways to kind of challenge yourself. And then that's where you'll start to see more results and actually have fun with it too. So,
Joe, thank you very much. We're going to be
Absolutely.
watching one of the events that CrossFit is involved in the community. So thank you for your time. We'll be back after these few shots from the event.
3, 2, 1, go!
There we go.
You gotta want it, you gotta want it! You gotta want it! Keep pulling, guys, keep pulling!
There we go.
Oh, there you go. All right, you're done.
We're here with actually my sister Hilda, who's a member of Certus CrossFit, and she's actually done great. She's lost over 100 pounds. How many pounds have you lost?
I've officially hit 130 now.
130 pounds she's lost. So what difference are you feeling now than you did before you lost all the weight?
Energy's through the roof. I mean, overall, just you can't really put words on how something like that feels. Having an adult German Shepherd just kind of fall off your body, it's night and day. But energy, just everything, overall wellness, you feel just phenomenal.
Tell us about CrossFit here at Certus. How does it feel? Tell us about the community involvement.
Well, I lost the bulk of my weight with spin. So it was all cardio. I needed power, I needed strength, so I went to a few different gyms, and as soon as I walked in through the doors here, it was like I belonged, and I'm here. You live down the street from me, and I see you hardly ever, and I see these people on a daily basis. It becomes like a family. My strength has gone through the roof, and I've only been here for 2 months. I absolutely love it. I love lifting weights. I love the power that comes from it, and just seeing day to day the differences within me that cardio and spin never gave me.
Why did you start your weightlift style, or why did you start your process?
Well, when you lose a large amount of weight, you have to start lifting weights. You have to start building strength, and that's what I needed. And so I looked into CrossFit because I know I would get that training, whereas I'm not going to get it if I go by myself to the weight area with all the meatheads, and other weightlifters at a gym and not know what I'm doing. Here I'm getting Olympic lifting, and it's absolutely amazing.
My sister Hilda lost over 100 pounds. If she can do it, you all can do it. as well. So she's also a member of Certus CrossFit. We're going to watch some clips of the event that Certus CrossFit is involved in, and then we're going to come back with some more member interviews. We'll be back after this.
Come on, Michelle! I'm tired. Come on, Michelle! This is supposed to fun! Yeah! We can feel the weight. Come on! Really work hard. Michelle, stop! Michelle!
We're here with another member of CrossFit, the CrossFit family. Her name is Elizabeth. And so, Elizabeth, how long have you been involved in CrossFit?
I've been with CrossFit since the day they opened, and I love the community. Everyone here, we empower one another, and it's a very positive environment. That's what I like about being in CrossFit here.
So someone like me, I'm a little on the heavier side, I admit it. If I don't have enough confidence to come to the gym, why should I come here? I mean, am I going to feel comfortable here? Are people going to look at me different here?
It wouldn't matter what type of activity that you have. Here we just empower everyone here. It could be from beginning or you never did anything before. You come in here, it's always going to be a positive. Here there's no putting down one another, and we try to do what we can to make you feel that yes, you could do it. Yes, you could do the squat. Yes, you could do a power clean. Yes, you could do a push-up, pull-up, anything.
How important is that? I mean, how important is that to have like cheerleaders? I mean, that's basically what it is you have different people cheering you on. How important is that in your role or in your workout?
And for that, I just like the fact that I have everyone else that's just in the same level as I am, that I know that they're here for the same values. They're doing their health changes, trying to change a positive outlook in their life, becoming stronger. That's I feel like what's all about here in CrossFit.
So why did you even join CrossFit? I mean, you could have joined tons of other workout schedules and workout routines, but you're here at CrossFit. It's an evening, it's late. You could be at home watching TV or doing whatever else, but you're here in the CrossFit gym and you're working out. Why'd you even get involved?
I got involved was I needed another way to empower myself. I wanted to become stronger. I wanted something different in my life. I just didn't want to just have a routine to where it's just work, going home, work, going home. I wanted to have something to where I could be able to get out of work, do something for myself, just 1 hour of your time. And then once that 1 hour of your time is done, I could just go home, and I feel like by the end of the day, I accomplished something for myself.
And do you feel stronger? I mean, before you walked through those doors and now, do you feel stronger? Do you feel healthier?
Of course, I'm like so stronger than what I was before. I couldn't even do the weights that I did. I couldn't even lift like a bar. It was just, to me, it was so heavy. Now I could able to lift more than 95 pounds. I could squat more than my own body weight. I could deadlift almost 195 pounds. It's something that I never thought that I was able to do.
Well, congratulations to you, Elizabeth. Good luck to you in your future, and good luck to you in your workouts.
Thank you. I appreciate this interview that you have given me.
You're very welcome. We're going to show some clips now of an event that CrossFit is involved in the community, and we're going to be back with another member interview. We're back, and we have another member of CrossFit. His name is Steven, and he looks like he's in great shape, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So why did you join CrossFit? I mean, you could have joined a bunch of other gyms and a bunch of other workouts. There are a ton of stuff out there, but you're here in CrossFit. It's an evening, it's late, but you're working out still. Why?
Well, I've been working out since I was 18, which is up 30 years plus, and I've just been going to traditional gyms. I was looking for something that would really motivate me and something that would tweak my competitive instincts. So This is a perfect environment from that. There's people of all abilities. There's a great team atmosphere. There's a great camaraderie when you're doing the workouts. And it instills a lot of motivation and good workout habits in you.
Why is it important? I mean, you said you've been working out since 18. A lot of other 18-year-olds aren't working out. Why was working out so important to you, and are you glad you chose that path?
Yeah, I mean, people put a lot of value in monetary things, a lot of value in possessions, but to me, looking after your body is just as important. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health and your fitness, there's a lot of things you can't do and a lot of things you can't enjoy. So I think it's very important to do that.
You've been involved in CrossFit or working out for a long time, and you're in great shape. What advice would you give someone who hasn't been involved in working out like you have over the years, but wants to achieve some of the goals, some of the successes that you have, because you're in great shape?
I don't think you have to be in great shape to work out. I think you've just got to have a positive attitude. You've got to be prepared to accept that when you first start working out, there's going to be people of all different ability levels that you're going to see, and you'll get a lot of motivation from people who are in the same shape as you. People who are just day by day trying to make small gains. And I've been working out a long time, but I get just as much motivation from watching newcomers come in and make improvements. So you also get motivation from the coaches here. We've got great coaches, so I would highly recommend it to anybody who wants to.
How long a day do you work out? I mean, is this something you do daily? And along that, do you also watch what you eat?
I do. I watch what I eat to a certain level. I'm not crazy disciplined about it, but I try and stay away from processed foods. But I work out 6 days a week, 1 to 2 hours a day. At CrossFit here, we have a program every day, workouts every day. And I typically do 1 class a day. And then there are supplementary classes like gymnastics and Olympic weightlifting that I also do as well.
Thank you very much for the interview. Keep up the great work.
Thank you very much. Bye.
That's all for this edition of San Joaquin Spotlight. Thank you to Bestina, who was working the cameras this evening while we were broadcasting at Certus CrossFit. Thank you also to Michelle and her team for providing great information to us about being healthy, working out, and the whole CrossFit movement. Thank you to the volunteer crew that make this production and every production possible. We couldn't do this without you. To our audience members listening to us on 90.7 FM KFSR Fresno, and also those watching on the CMAC channel, Comcast 93, AT&T 99. Tune in next week for a new edition